We've all heard the phrase, obesity is a silent killer. And sure, it sounds dramatic, like something a deep-voiced narrator would whisper over slow-motion footage of a cheeseburger. But what does it actually mean? Is obesity really that dangerous, or is it just another health scare tactic designed to sell diet shakes and overpriced gym memberships? Let's talk about it. And while we're at it, let's drag BMI into the conversation, because it's long overdue for a reality check. To begin with, obesity, when we strip away all the stigma and social noise, is a medical condition characterized by excess body fat that can harm your health. Not just your self-esteem or your genes, but your actual organs. It's not just about how you look in a swimsuit. It's about what's happening to your heart, liver, pancreas, and joints while you're busy going about your day. That's why it's called a silent killer. You might feel fine, even energetic, but inside, your systems might be quietly waving the white flag. But let's be clear about something. Obesity has been tragically oversimplified in public discourse. The most common assumption, that it's entirely a matter of personal responsibility. You eat too much, you don't move enough, problem solved, right? Wrong. Obesity is a complex chronic condition. Yes, diet and physical activity play a role, but so do genetics, environment, socioeconomic status, mental health, sleep, medications, hormones, trauma, stress, the list goes on. If solving obesity were as simple as just eat less, we wouldn't have a global epidemic. We'd have a solution by now. And yet, here we are. So where did this overconfidence come from? Enter BMI, the body mass index. That little calculator that takes your weight, divides it by your height squared, and spits out a label. Underweight, normal, overweight, or obese. Sounds scientific, right? Not so fast. BMI was never meant to be a diagnostic tool. It was developed in the 1800s by a mathematician, yes, a mathematician, not a doctor, as a statistical tool to measure population trends, not individual health. And yet for decades we've been treating it like gospel. The problem? BMI doesn't differentiate between fat and muscle. It doesn't account for body composition, gender differences, ethnicity, or bone density. That's why a pro football player with six-pack abs could be labeled obese, while someone with dangerous levels of internal fat gets a normal score. It's like judging your car's performance based solely on tire pressure. You're missing the whole engine. Thankfully, the medical world is finally waking up. In 2023, the Lancet Commission on Obesity released new guidelines that encourage moving beyond BMI. Instead, they recommend assessing waist circumference, metabolic health, lifestyle, and body composition. Translation: we're evolving from what do you weigh to how's your body actually functioning? And that shift matters. Because while BMI has its flaws, the health risks associated with excess body fat are still very real and very serious. Obesity isn't dangerous because of how it looks. It's dangerous because of what it does inside your body. Let's start with your heart. Obesity significantly raises the risk of heart disease, the leading cause of death worldwide. Extra fat, especially visceral fat around the abdomen, puts strain on your heart, increases inflammation, and messes with your cholesterol. It's like forcing your heart to run a marathon every single day, even if you're just sitting on the couch. Then there's type 2 diabetes. When you carry too much fat, especially in and around your internal organs, it interferes with insulin. Your blood sugar stays elevated, your pancreas works overtime, and eventually things start to break down. Nerves, kidneys, eyes. It's not just about dessert. It's about systemic inflammation and metabolic overload. And yes, obesity is linked to certain cancers, like breast, colon, liver, pancreatic, and kidney cancer. Fat tissue produces excess estrogen and inflammatory cytokines, which can promote tumor growth. No fear-mongering here, just facts. Let's talk about breathing. Sleep apnea is common in people with obesity, especially when extra weight builds around the neck and compresses airways during sleep. That leads to poor oxygen levels, fragmented sleep, and higher risk of heart attacks and strokes. If you snore like a freight train, this might not be just a quirk, it might be a red flag. And let's not forget joints. Your knees and hips weren't designed to carry excess weight day in and day out. It's like dragging a backpack full of bricks everywhere you go. Eventually, the cartilage wears down, leading to chronic pain and osteoarthritis. There's also non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a growing problem in people with obesity. This happens when fat builds up in the liver, leading to inflammation, scarring, and even liver failure. And it can creep up without a single symptom. No alcohol required, just too much fat and too little movement. But it's not just physical. Obesity also takes a toll on mental health. Depression, anxiety, disordered eating, and body image issues can all intersect with weight in complex and painful ways. And society's obsession with thinness doesn't help. In fact, it often makes things worse. People delay care, avoid doctors, and internalize shame, all of which keeps them from getting the help they need. So yes, the silent killer label isn't entirely wrong. The damage often happens slowly, invisibly, and without warning, until something serious happens. But here's where we shift gears, because this isn't about shame. This isn't about telling anyone they're bad or broken. It's about giving you real information so you can understand your body better and make decisions rooted in facts, not fear. Because believe it or not, you can be classified as overweight or obese and still be metabolically healthy. Your blood pressure, cholesterol, and insulin sensitivity might all be totally normal. Conversely, you can be normal weight and have serious metabolic issues. That's why we need more nuanced tools than BMI and more nuanced conversations than just lose weight. So what should we be looking at instead? Waist circumference is a good start. It gives us a better picture of visceral fat, the kind that wraps around organs and increases disease risk. For women, anything over 35 inches is a concern. For men, over 40 inches, blood pressure, blood sugar, triglycerides, HDL cholesterol, liver enzymes. These tell us more about your health than a number on the scale ever could. Think of them as your body's dashboard lights. Pay attention to what they're saying. And while we're at it, we need to acknowledge the role of access. Not everyone lives near a grocery store with fresh produce. Not everyone has time for workouts or money for personal trainers. Obesity isn't just a personal issue, it's also a public health one. You can't out-jog poverty or stress. So what can you actually do? First, ditch the all-or-nothing mindset. You don't need a perfect diet or a 6-day workout plan. If you swap soda for water 3 times a week, great. If you walk around the block instead of watching one more episode, awesome. Progress is progress. Second, focus on behaviors, not weight. Eat more fiber. Get consistent sleep. Manage your stress. Move your body in ways you enjoy. These things improve your health, regardless of whether the number on the scale moves. Third, get support. Talk to a doctor, a dietitian, a therapist, whoever can help you navigate this journey with compassion and clarity. You don't have to do it alone. And finally, remember, your body is not your enemy. It's your partner, and it's doing its best with the tools and signals it's been given. Every healthy choice you make, no matter how small, is a win. So let's wrap it up. Obesity is a complex condition with real health consequences, but BMI is a flawed tool, and shame is a terrible motivator. The better approach? Understand the risks. Learn your numbers. Take small, sustainable steps toward better health. And remember, your health is about more than just weight. It's about energy, mobility, resilience, and feeling good in your skin. If this helped you rethink what obesity really means and why BMI isn't the gold standard it's made out to be, consider subscribing. This channel is here to give you smart, evidence-based, myth-busting health advice, minus the guilt and gimmicks. And in the next video, we're digging into one of the juiciest claims on the internet. Is Big Pharma hiding cures just to make more money treating diseases? Let's just say it's going to get interesting. Stick around and let's keep building your health knowledge, one myth-busting truth at a time.